Believe me, people are calling me crying every day. I need my hair done. I'm like, yeah, I know. Don't we all?
Can someone out there hear me? This is Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Oh,
Hi,
good.
Kayla.
You can. I didn't have audio last meeting, so I just wanted to test. So I'm good. Thank you. Out there hear me? This is Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Oh,
Hi,
good.
Kayla.
You can. I didn't have audio last meeting, so I just wanted to test. So I'm good. Can out there hear me? This is Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
You can. I didn't have audio.
Sherry, how can I do to two friends of mine that are not in the group want to follow it on YouTube? Do you know how can I direct them from there?
Yeah, let me put the link in the chat real quick.
Thank you. Want to follow it on YouTube? Do you know how can I direct them from there?
Yeah, let me put the link
I
in
just
the chat real quick.
put the link there, Sherry.
Okay, thanks.
Do you know how can I direct them from there?
Where are we getting the feedback, Dakota?
There we go. Sorry, my YouTube was blasting full speed there. Hi, everybody. So hang on while we get ready here for our meditation. We are, all of us are juggling 5 different things at one time. So we've got Leanne and Sherry here who are my co-hosts. They're also an integral part of the Gaia team here. And so I appreciate them being here to help me through doing this live guided meditation. We are streaming live on YouTube as well, and I want to give a shout out to just everybody who follows me on YouTube. I think many of you probably have actually found me on that space or Insight Timer, and I am forever grateful for all of them who follow me there. So as we kind of get ready and settled in, just take a few moments to breathe. And we will get going here. Let's see here. All right, so we had, gosh, like 250 people sign up for this meditation today. And I'll tell you, that tells me something about what people are needing and seeking at this time, which is some sense of solace and peace and connection and whatever else it is that we are all, the entire globe is a little bit of in a disarray. And so we are all kind of finding our new footing in this time right now. So I appreciate all of you who are here today and that you are participating in this event. It's hopefully something that will, really serve as a connection point for each of us in some way. Before we really begin the meditation, I want to just take a few moments to say something about what's happening right now in our world and in the context of the medicine wheel, which is what I teach. It's what the mentorship is based on. And how do we navigate times like this using the medicine wheel? And I can't think of a better example than what we have happening currently is, the medicine wheel is made for things like this, where our world kind of gets disrupted and we need to find an anchor point and a way to kind of assimilate the information, feel full-bodied about it, and to be able to work our way through it in a mindful, aware, and cohesive way, and to really kind of navigate what does that mean now for our lives. And a lot of times when we are in class during the mentorship, I'll talk a lot about, things that are happening here in America or things that are happening in Australia or some things that are happening in Europe. And, they're centrally based in those areas. This is the first time where I can speak about something where every single person on the planet is affected. Everybody is going through this. And that really lends itself to reminding us that we are one global family. And one of the things that I love about today's meditation is that it employs people from all over the world. We've got accents from Europe and Scotland and Brussels and France and Australia and America, and just feeling that that voice, that voice that sounds differently, but really we are all connected in so many different ways. And so when I look at the medicine wheel and with what's happening right now in this world, and there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of fear. There's a compound of just many multiple emotions, and some that we've not really had to navigate before. We're in very new territory. And so when I go to the wheel, I look at it from the different directions. And if I were to go to the east direction, I'm looking at the facts. What is true about what's happening right now? Getting a good source of information so that we stay informed. We have the knowledge, we have the actual facts of what's happening. What do I need to do? What does this look like to my life? How am I going to navigate now that I'm working from home, or that I have kids at home, or that whole array of things that happen in the very real world. I also look at, how do I need to make a plan? What do I need to do? What do I need to buy? What do I need to plan for? How am I going to stay connected to my family and friends? And really creating that structure around what's happening, the events that are happening. The East direction is very much about the mental body, and it's about your career house. It's a masculine energy, so it's also very, very active. That's where we take action, and we communicate what we need. We communicate to our higher self and to our lower self, to our ego, and we also communicate to each other. We use that language to really kind of bring that bridge together of truth. And we also, the big thing about the East is we look at the perspective of things. So we look from that higher vantage point of, what does this really mean in the short term and also in the long term. And what's happening right now is it's very easy to get stuck in that short term viewpoint, and we see just with these blinders on of what's right in front of us. And for a lot of people, that's a lot of fear, it's a lot of chaos, it's a lot of energy that we don't really understand. But if you get above that and you look at the bigger picture and you kind of see what's going on, ultimately it's really beautiful. It's the planet is healing. I just told my mentorship peeps this past week, one of the things that I am encouraging them to do is to look beyond the rhetoric that we hear in the news and look at what's actually happening to the earth. The air is clearing up for the first time ever in China. They've heard the birds sing because they don't have noise pollution. In Venice, the canals are clearing up. They can actually see through the water. The dolphins and the swans have reappeared. There's the first time ever that a group of whale pods, a pod of whales, has returned to the Hudson River. And so we have all these great things that are happening because we have retreated and taken a pause. And so often we are, if you're imbalanced in the East energy, it's go, 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 without any regards to what your actions are actually creating in the world around you. And so in that sense, it's a really beautiful thing that is as tragic as it is, where there's a lot of beautiful things that are happening as a result of us taking that pause. When I go to the South direction, I look at relationships. The South is all about your emotional body. It's about relationship. It's about intuition and nurturing and vitality. And so it's about creating that. This is a time where relationship becomes very important. It's also very challenging because for many of us, we have to now use the social distancing. So we can't just automatically go up and hug somebody, but we have to respect that space, but still find ways to connect to people. And that's more important now than ever, is to create that connection to people, to reestablish that love and that sense of connection and bonding that we have. We are social creatures. And one thing that people, psychologists are really discovering and laminating right now is that the reason why it's so hard for us to do this social distancing thing is because we are social creatures. We love to be around people. We seek that connection with one another. So now it's getting creative about how do we do that in a world that we are confined to a smaller space with just us or our very close loved ones. And so luckily, in the mentorship, we created this space this past week. We're in between sessions right now, so we haven't had any calls, but we did an impromptu call just to give that space where we can connect virtually. And it was the Band-Aid that was needed for each of our souls, was to remember that we are a part of something bigger than just our own solo self. So relationships become very important in the South. Also having empathy, and I want to touch a little bit about on empathy, because most everybody that I find who come to things like this, a guided meditation about dreams, is going to be an empath. And so there's a couple things that come with that. Empathy, being empathetic is an amazing, wonderful tool and asset to have, because it allows you to really feel what's happening to the people around you and into the world and animals and things like that. Right now, it can be very, very detrimental to somebody who is an empath but does not have boundaries. And so because that happens, you get drained and you get sick, and there's all kinds of things that happen with empaths without boundaries. So in the South, I look to how can I be empathetic and feel what's happening to my fellow citizens and still protect myself from that energy draining me? How can I still be of service to the world and still be able to replenish my reservoir? And that happens by looking to the west direction. And I'll get to that in just a second. The other thing in the south direction that we look at is self-love. How am I loving myself through this time? How can I take what's happening in my world and maybe dispel the fears a little bit, because there's still the fear of all of these things that may happen or could happen, and what if and should and could and blah, blah, blah. But down in the south, it's about, what do I need right now? Do I need to really meditate and go within? Do I need to journal? Do I need to scream? Do I need to, whatever it is, but really take care of yourself during this time, especially if you're an empath. And then there's the creativity aspect of the south direction. And I love that for right now, because one of the things that I keep hearing from different people is like, wow, this is a great time to paint that bedroom that I've been wanting to paint for years, or I really want to work on that book that I've been talking about writing forever, or I want to just paint my emotions. And creativity gives us a way to release that energy and to kind of feel that connection again back to our emotional body. The emotions of the South are tricky right now, because there's emotions that are going like this. They're like a little graph, up and down, up and down. One day you're feeling really good. Look at the dolphins swimming in Venice canals. And then, oh my God, there's this fear of, am I going to get COVID? And then there's this anger that spikes because our world leaders or our government leaders are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so there's all these emotions that are happening. And in the south direction, we learn to acknowledge and feel the emotions, go through them, don't ignore them, don't try to bypass them, but actually feel them, and then find a healthy way to release and express them that works for you. When we move now to the west, we look at self-care as a huge thing. How am I taking care of myself? Am I eating the right foods? Am I drinking enough water? Am I practicing social distancing so that I don't catch COVID-19? Am I taking the necessary precautions? Is my immune system at the best that it could be? What could I do to make it better? Can I exercise to release some of these emotions that I'm feeling? In the West, we also look at boundaries, energetic and physical boundaries, and both are important right now. Physical boundaries, just so that we don't get sick. Emotional boundaries, so that we don't take on everybody else's emotions. And then just really realizing and understanding where you start and where someone else starts. Where is that delineating energetic boundary that we have? And do you understand it? And that's the big part of the West, because if you feel like you're getting depleted, or you're experiencing emotions that you don't necessarily think are yours, then that usually is a breach of energetic boundaries that you're experiencing. And then we come up to the north direction, and the north is all about that spiritual body. Am I feeling connected to source, God, whatever, however you define it? And that's one thing I love about the medicine wheel too, is that it's not defined by any religion or spiritual practice. Anybody can use the medicine wheel, because it just is really about what is your personal relationship with your spiritual path. And so leaning into that direction to find that sense of peace and that sense of mind that we can sometimes lose in situations like this. So I understand that there are so many people who are really teetering on that seesaw of, yes, I'm spiritual, but man, this feels really awful in that third dimensional body. And there's a lot of things that are happening right now, not just with this virus that's going around. The virus has, in my mind, has kind of awoken that dormant piece of us that has been slumbering for a long time and needs to wake up and really recapture the reasons why we're here, and to recapture what's important, what's really necessary in our lives. And I think we're all kind of seeing that things that we thought would be impossible are now being made possible because we've been forced into it. And so I kind of view this as a really beautiful rebirth that we are experiencing. And somebody said earlier, and I think it was Betty, who's also an integral part of the Gaia team, that birth is really excruciating, painful. I've never given birth, so I don't know, but I understand it's very, very painful. But it doesn't stop people from birthing children, because children are the most beautiful creatures in this world, and they grow up to be us. And so this is a very, very painful birth that we're going through, but the outcome of it is going to be absolutely phenomenal. We're going to be so grateful that we have been forced into this situation, because what comes out of it will be a global change, a global different way of looking at things. And I think it's going to really connect countries in a way that it hasn't before, because we have a common enemy right now, which is the virus. And collaboratively, we come together to draw that in and combat it together. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I know that right now is a very trying time for people, and we're all being put in situations that we never thought we would be in. I, for one, right now am supposed to be in Arizona at this moment. And I was going to be teaching at an expo this next week, and I was going to be traveling around and hiking and doing my shaman shorts and filming things for you guys. And instead, I am in Circleville, Ohio with my dogs, and I'm in my camper in a church parking lot, which I never would have thought I'd be in, but I needed to be close to my mom as we go through this, because I wanted to be of service to her and to establish, again, that reconnection and that relationship to her. And so in this time, we make sacrifices, but at the same time, we also find out what's really, truly important to us. And I am grateful for the pastor of my mom's church who allowed me to park in his parking lot. And I will say this too, and then we'll get to the meditation. It has rained nonstop here for days and days and days. And in the parking lot, I must be in the lowest spot possible, because there's a lake all around me and probably about 2 inches of water. I have to wear boots just to go outside my door. But in that water have been hundreds and hundreds of earthworms. And Sherry reminded me, this is what I love about my team, is that they remind me to practice what I preach. She's like, well, what's the message of the earthworm? And I looked it up, and it actually is about rebirth and nurturing and taking in the pieces that are not useful, and really rebirthing something that is beautiful and solid and nourishing. And that is exactly what we're doing right now. We are rebirthing our way of being. And so with today's meditation, we are officially closing out the north direction of the medicine wheel, and we are opening up the energy of the east direction, which is everything that I just kind of talked about. It's about dreams and visions and inspirations and ideas, and stepping fully into that mental body where we can live both in the spirit world and in the third dimensional world. And we begin to take those seeds that we started incubating in the north when we went inward to find what is really true for me. What do I really need and want for my life? Navi, stop. Sorry. And feeling into what does that look like in this world? What does that look like in the from taking it from the esoteric and taking it into the tangible third dimensional world? And what do I want for my life? What do I want to plant? What do I dream of becoming? And sometimes we lose sight of that because we get so busy with our life that we stop living, or we feel like we get trapped in situations that we can't get out of. Maybe we're in a toxic relationship, or maybe we're in a job we can't stand, or maybe we don't take enough time out for ourselves to just be. And because of that, we end up sacrificing our soul. We end up using this life as just day by day, boom, boom, boom. It's not really cohesive. We're just making it through the day. We're not thriving. And in this life, we have one life. Whether you believe in reincarnation or not, I believe in reincarnation. Not everybody does. But we have this one life. And that's all we get. That's the only thing that we are absolutely positively guaranteed right now is today. And now more than ever, with this virus going around, it is becoming very, very evident that even this one day cannot be taken for granted. And yet we have so often just pushed things away. Yeah, I'll do that someday. I'll do that someday when I have time. The East direction begs us to stop that rhetoric in our head and really look at what life do you want to live? Do you want to have a half-written chapter at the end of your life? Or a chapter that never even began? Do you want the title of your book to be Everybody Else's Story But My Own? I have come across so many people in my life. I'm going to cry now, and I have mascara on it. Damn, I have mascara on. I have so many people who have passed through my life, and I've heard them say these words. I just wish, ... I just wish I could travel. I just wish I had time. I just wish that I had love, deep love in my life. I just wish I felt connected to my partner. I just wish I lived and breathed my spiritual truth. I wish I could just be who I am with my family. I wish I didn't have to hide all the time. I wish I had dogs that didn't bark. And we go through our life just with these wishes and these ideas that seem so out there. And in the East, this is the time where we begin to birth that. And we say, you know what, enough is enough. This is my life. I've got one chance at this life. And by God, I'm going to write my story. I am going to be the headline character. I'm going to be the star of the show. It's going to be titled, for me, Dakota Earth Cloud Walker, my life story, my dream come true. And that's what it needs to be for each of you. You know, this is Heather's story and Kathy's story and Carol's and Laura's and Jane's and Ryan's and Sheila's, and all of us need to have our story to be told and lived today, because that's all you really have. My grandma was one of my biggest inspiring people in my life ever, and she sacrificed her dream from living in California to move to Ohio to be with family in her latter years. And on the weekends, I used to go down to her house and spend time with her. I lived in Columbus, which was about 30 miles away. And I had just a horrible, in my mind, a horrible life. I didn't like where I lived. I hated my job. I didn't feel connected to anybody. I didn't do anything fun. I worked. And I'd go down there on the weekends, and Grandma would sit down. She'd stop everything she was doing. She'd sit down in her chair and she'd say, what'd you do this week that was fun? And I would muster up all these fake half-truths and tell her what I thought she needed to hear. And she would smile and she'd nod her head, and then she'd ask me again. She goes, are you happy? And I would say, yeah, I'm happy. But the truth is, inside I was dying. And her question, so simple, but it kept sticking with me. Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy? And finally, one day I decided, I'm not happy. And I decided to move to Arizona. And actually, Arizona only became on the radar because I had never been there. But I was listening to the news one day. It was January 3rd, 1991. And it was about 10 below zero in Ohio. And Arizona, Tucson specifically, was the warmest place in the nation that day. I decided to move to Arizona that day. And 2 weeks later, I crossed the state line with $300 in my pocket, no job, no place to live, nothing. And just went because that's what I felt like I needed to do. And it was the best move I ever made my entire life. And from that experience, I learned that you can do anything if you really, really desire it. 1 second. If you can't see it, it's not there. Okay, shut the blinds. Maybe they'll be good. I'm in a camper right now, so it's very tight quarters with me and 2 dogs. Anyway, for my grandma, I am so happy in my life now because I have taken my life to the medicine wheel. I have created the life that I feel is it is my truest dream. And sure, there are things always that could be better. But what I choose to do is to know that I will continue to make my life better and better and better as long as I live my truth. And that's what I'm doing. And so in today's meditation, I want you to really feel into what could be possible for you. And what is it inside of you? What's that story that needs to be told? And in today's video, you're going to hear also some voices from some children, and I see them here today. I see them. Heather's got her daughters here, and I don't know if Manira and Angie are here, but their kids, the kids, they capture it too. They capture such an essence that it brings us back into that innocent place within us where, as kids, we always believed that everything was possible. We had no concept that we couldn't do something. And somewhere we lost that as we get older. We lose that ability to recognize that we are that powerful. And so I want you to be reminded from the voice of the children that anything is possible. And the only person who can stop you from creating that most perfect life is you. You're the only one who stops yourself. And so with that, I want to bring to you the Dream Seeds, our newest meditation. And Sherry is going to stream it since I am working off my hotspot today and I don't want to lose bandwidth. And we'll go from there.
Dakota, I need to get it ready because I thought you were streaming.
Streaming?
Yeah, I thought you were streaming. I thought we discussed that, but let me get it
Oh,
ready.
I can.
Give me 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. I can talk for 2 minutes. Anyway, I do really appreciate all of you guys being here. I think that it's, whether you have actively been a part of the medicine wheel and the mentorship, and many of the mentorship people are in here, and I also see some people who have graduated from the mentorship that are back here today. I think that there's a piece of each of us that really knows and has that that recognition of where you need to be and at what time and what place, and you're drawn to it. You know, I think that if I were to give me a raise of hands of how many people stumbled across this meditation, you know, that's a perfect example of how our spirit guides kind of guide us to the places where we know that we're going to get exactly what we need and hear exactly what we need to hear. And so I think that, you know, whether you're on YouTube or you're here, it is just a testament to the spirit within you that has that connection so deeply tied in. And I love that. I love that about our ability to navigate our lives, even when we are in our own way, so to speak. How are we doing, Sherry? Where did she go? Oh, there she is. Everybody switches around. You're muted, in case you didn't know that.
Okay, we should be good.
Okay. All right. Here you go.
Can you see?
Yep.
Okay.
Sherry, you're not sharing the sound.
Okay. Sorry, guys. One more minute.
You need help?
Got it.
Okay. Is it going? Sherry, it's not playing.
It's the room you've been sleeping
There it was. But can you start it from the beginning?
Yeah, sorry.
We love technology.
All right, third time's a charm.
Yep.
Okay. Can you hear?
in. It's time.
We can hear, but now we can't see it. And make sure you're sharing the computer audio.
Rising gently upward and escaping into the womb you've been sleeping in. It's time to awaken from your slumber. Wake up. It's time. Wake up, sweet one. Feel the pull forward from the safe, dark cave. And into the light of the rising sun. The east direction welcomes you. Welcomes this new birth That is you. That is you. And bring with you the power that you incubated from within. You're so powerful. Harnessing its energy and magnitude, awakening you from the inside out. This is your birth. This is your truth. This is your time. Your guides whisper to you all the things that they showed you, taught you, awakened in you. And throughout your life, you've had dreams for your life that have been buried deep. The unrealized potential, fallen short, or left unattended. What are you dreaming awake? Wake up. What dreams do you want to pull to life now?
I'm dreaming of the wind, wondering where it will take me.
Keep dreaming.
I'm dreaming of creating enchanted gardens. I'm dreaming my beautiful world into being.
I am dreaming of a garden, abundant, joyful, colorful.
I am dreaming of living forever.
I am dreaming of becoming a scientist whenever I'm older.
I am dreaming of becoming a professional artist.
I am dreaming of becoming a surgeon.
I am dreaming of unconditional love for myself and all around me.
I'm becoming alive, embodying the song of my soul.
What dreams have filled you up? And imagine yourself living the one dream you most desire for your life. Bring all of your senses forward. Feel it. Taste it. Envision it. Smell it. Become your dream. Bring it to life. How would it look? feel to pull this dream outside of yourself, bring it to life. Who are you becoming?
I am becoming my own best friend. I am becoming a woman who dances in her own power.
I am embracing talking to the animals.
I am becoming a strong, independent woman through the friends and family around me.
I am becoming a better person. I am becoming more happy.
I am becoming awakened. I am becoming love.
I am becoming the wholeness of my being.
I am becoming one with my sacred heart.
I am becoming awakened.
And imagine yourself riding on the wings of eagle who gives you the greater perspective of your life, showing you what's possible. Giving you insight into what might be holding you back. Allowing you to see your life and what it will be like once you've allowed your dream to become. And now Al comes and imparts to you the key to unlocking the wisdom that you hold inside. What do you already know? What is true for you? Feel yourself dreaming yourself awake. Pulling it all forward for yourself right now, right here. And coming to a bridge now, you must make a conscious choice. Cross over the river of fears, doubts, insecurities, and excuses, and step fully into the wisdom of your awakened soul, and reclaim your dreams, your visions, and live your inspired life fully. Live with everything you have. Walk mindfully. Acknowledge the river below you. In some ways, they have served you. They've been your teachers. Sometimes they've been your compass. Each step you take is one step closer to your awakened dream. And walk with confidence. Walk in your power. And coming to the other side, you find yourself in the open space of your heart. A field of all of your closely held dreams. Each flower representing an aspect of you, a dream, a vision, a strength, a longing. See within yourself the young you that dreamed wildly, and the you now who still holds these dreams in your heart. Watch them as they unfold and come to life, envelop you, hold you, give you strength and courage, inspiration, knowledge and wisdom. It's all right here. You are in this field of dreams where everything is possible. Impossible becomes possible. It all holds the wisdom that you seek. Are you listening? What are the seeds? What are the seeds you wish to plant in your life, that you want to plant in your life right now? Imagine holding those seeds gently in your hands, offering a sacred space, love, compassion, belief that these seeds can be germinated, nurtured. And imagine yourself planting these seeds one by one, envisioning how your life will change for the very nature of this one seed that you plant right now. How will your life change? How will you be more in alignment with your truth? Are you creating with it? Your dreams are calling you. Are you listening? Are you listening?
I'm planting the seeds of being delightful and happy.
I am planting the seeds of dancing. I'm planting the seeds of happiness for always. I am planting seeds of hope. I'm also planting seeds of color, beautiful rainbow colors.
Planting the seeds of being happy.
I am sowing the seeds of gratitude and wisdom.
I am planting the seeds of health.
I am planting the seed of expansion.
I am planting the seeds of happiness.
I am planting the seeds of beautiful gardens.
I'm planting the seed of prosperity, happiness, and peace.
I'm planting the seeds of compassion.
I am planting seeds of connection.
I'm planting the seeds of connectiveness.
Of new connections.
I am planting seeds of joy.
I am planting the seed of love.
Of love.
I'm planting the seeds of an open and loving heart.
Of self-love.
Planting the seeds of trusting my inner knowing.
I am planting the seed of self-care.
I am planting seeds of self-care.
I am planting the seeds of living in harmony with the earth.
I am planting the seeds of intentional living and heart-led action.
I am planting the seeds of enjoying the magic of my path.
I am planting the seeds of magic.
I am planting the seeds of the awakening goddess.
I am planting seeds of strength and courage.
I am planting seeds of fearlessness and self-confidence.
I'm planting seeds of new life and new beginnings. I'm also planting seeds of great love.
Of self-love and self-empowerment.
Of oneness with all of creation.
I'm planting the seeds of imagination.
Of freedom.
Of singing, of the inner wisdom of yourself.
I'm planting the seeds of remembering who I am.
I am planting the seeds of listening.
Aho. I am grateful for your patience and that we all have contributed in some way to this meditation. I really actually want to put a special shout out to those voices that you heard beyond mine were the students of the mentorship and their families. And I just am really so honored and grateful that you each contributed your voice to this meditation. It brings tears to my eyes when I listen to all of you speak what seeds you're planting. So thank you for that. I do apologize for all the lagging. I actually read this week that the internet has they have a fear that it's going to break with everybody being online. So people like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, they've all dropped their quality of streaming down to help offset that. So I appreciate you guys being patient with the lagging. It will be on YouTube later for you to stream without pause, hopefully. And then also we'll have it available in the Soul Shop for anybody who wants to download it and play it on your own computer. So I hope that each of you have an opportunity today to sit with what is it that you're planting in your garden? What dreams do you want to bring to life in your life? And what are the steps that you can take to start embodying that? Anyway, just thank you. Thank you so much. So not to segue too much, but I am going to stay online here for anybody who has questions about the mentorship or the East direction or any of that. And happy to do that. We have enrollment. We actually extended enrollment in light of everything that's happening globally. Things just got kind of chaotic. Typically it would have closed tomorrow, but we're going to keep it open for an additional 7 days, I think, 6 days. And I've also added some more payment plan options because I know people are having some struggles right now. And we are actually going to also extend the pre-enrollment pricing so that price comes down a little bit. And we're answering questions too on YouTube. So if you have a question on YouTube, just throw it into the chat box. I see one there now about, will this meditation be on Insight Timer? I'm not sure yet if I will upload this one to Insight Timer. I may. It won't have the video with it though, since they don't do video. So quite possibly I will not. But I do have a new meditation on Insight Timer if you are over there. I just uploaded an EP, so that is there. All right, so anyway, any questions that you have about the meditation or about the mentorship? And I've got a couple of people here who have been on the mentorship for quite a few years that are wanting to share their insights to it too. And Betty, can I get you to say a little something about? And Betty has not only been through the mentorship, 4 years, but she just recently graduated from the certification program that I offer and is now a shamanic coach. And we have her listed on our website now as offering shamanic coaching services. She's also a resident witch. So she has her hand in creating spells and sigils and all kinds of stuff for us. So she adds a lot to this community. Anything you want to share, Betty?
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. I'm still kind of blown away by that gorgeous meditation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For those of you who are thinking of joining the meditation, all I can say is if you don't do it, it will be a huge mistake and you'll regret it for a very long time. 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, when I literally technologically stumbled upon Dakota's website, I didn't know what I needed, but I knew that something needed to change. My life, I was not happy. I was not happy in hardly any part of my life. And I'm not going to lie, the work is hard. There were times I wanted to throw the computer across the room. There were times that I would look at the lessons and go, nope. But there's something about this tribe, something about this community that Dakota has so carefully created, and something about the work that you do, where even if you just look at it and walk away from it, you still get it. You still get affected. Now, you do get as much as you put into it. I mean, you know, you'll get more if you actually make yourself do some of the work, but it's been life altering. I can tell you that a lot of the people that I've met, that I've seen lately, that knew me 4 or 5 years ago, were like, "What's changed? You're so different." And I just kind of point them towards the mentorship and say, "Well, this is what you need, because you need to get past the stuff you're dealing with." And it's just amazing, this tribe. It's so worth whatever money you think you don't have, you'll have it. I promise you, the universe will be good to you. Just invest in yourself. I think I'm done now.
Thank you, Betty. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been wonderful having you here for the 4 years too. It's you know what I love about this tribe is that we get to know each other so well. I mean, it's family, and you know, most of the people on the mentorship I have not met in person because we have such virtually, but I feel like you guys are family, and it's really a beautiful experience. I appreciate that. One of the questions I get a lot is it okay to start in the East direction? Is there a better direction to start in? I always say that whenever you feel called into the mentorship, whatever direction we're at is probably the best place for you to begin. I feel very strongly that most often people are led to this space when they need it, and not a moment sooner, not a moment later. The East direction, some of the stuff that we do in the East and we start working on is, just as the meditation kind of alluded to, is really kind of uncovering those dreams that we've let be buried within us, that we've either given up on or decided we don't have. We make a lot of excuses. I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have strength, I don't have skills, whatever it might be. And we create these false blocks to keep us from realizing our full potential. And so in the East, we kind of help to cultivate that space where we find that potential within us and bring it forward. We also work a lot with communication, sacred communication, learning how to speak and open up that throat chakra in a soulful way, to speak our truth and to really be unapologetic about who we are and where we are. We also work on prayer, which is an interesting one, because when I say the word prayer, I immediately, in this kind of a community, will see people like, ooh, I don't like that word, because it has such a strong religious connotation to it. But we work with prayer in a much different way. Many of you were probably with us during the Pray Rain meditation for Australia. And a lot of that is similar to the prayer that we teach. It's about becoming the prayer, becoming a walking prayer in your life. We also work with inspiration, finding that inspiration within us and what our sacred purpose is. Why are we here? What are we to do with our one life that we've been given? And so there's a lot of different components to the East direction. Actually, that's true for all the directions. There's a lot of different little tenets that happen. We go through 9 weeks of each week focused on a different aspect of the energy of that direction. And if you're a wisdom keeper, if you join as a wisdom keeper, in addition to that, we also do a monthly workshop where we bring in all of the directions to work together simultaneously with what you're learning in the East. And that's always very helpful, because ultimately what you want to do is to be able to live in the center of the medicine wheel, where you can pull the energy from all the different directions simultaneously. It's a solid foundation. It's a solid container for, I always call it taking it to the wheel. When you have a life situation happening like what we have going on right now, I take it to the wheel. How do I navigate this situation through all these different directions, and how do I employ and call on the energies that I might need, and kind of understanding how you are being affected and what's your go-to when you get stressed or connected or whatever it might be. And so we just kind of take all that information in, and in the East, we work with the mental body. So it's not just learning how it affects us spiritually and esoterically, but how do we kind of employ that into the everyday world that we live in right now? How do I go to work and be spiritual? How do I navigate this relationship and bring the sacred connection to this relationship that I'm in? So it's a lot of different components like that. Does anybody else have any questions, Brooke? And Brooke is a part of our mentorship. She's actually just beginning her second year.
Yes. I started in the East, just to give a little plug to the East. And I kind of wanted to offer maybe a little bit of the flip side to what Betty said for people who are maybe considering this but thinking it's not for them. I came into the mentorship thinking that my life was pretty darn good, and I wanted to take it to the next level. I had a job that I didn't agree with anymore, so I needed to move out of that. But beyond that, I felt like my life was really in a pretty good place, and I just wanted to figure out how I could become more. What I discovered was that even though my life was in a good place and it felt like a good place, it was just a tiny, tiny little bit of what it could have been. And through this mentorship, I have shifted things that I didn't even know were there. I didn't even know I had issues. I felt like my life was really very full, and it was. But there were things that I had suppressed for so long. And I didn't even feel them. I'd probably suppressed them since I was a child, and I didn't know they were there, and I didn't know how much fuller they would make my life once I began to uncover those things. So if you think you're in a pretty good place, you may be, but there's so much more that you may not even realize you don't have yet. And this is a great place to find that through the community, through the teaching, through everything that Dakota offers. It's just a beautiful space. So I wanted to put that out there.
Oh, thank you. That's a beautiful way to look at it too. It's, your life does not need to be falling apart to benefit from learning how to have a container that really helps you to navigate just everyday life and just be, and to kind of uncover maybe that next step like you're talking about. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Denise?
Well, I'm in my second year, just about through it, and I'll be starting my third year. And I thought I had it pretty good. I thought I had it all together. My numbers were good. I was pretty balanced. It's like things are going great. And then my daughter got cancer. It's like, now what am I going to do? This really sucks. So I used the wheel to get answers and to help her. So that's the thing. It wasn't just for myself. It's how this work spills over. It isn't just for yourself. It will never be just for yourself. It's for everybody you come in contact with, because this gets ingrained in you so much. You become it. It is so healthy. Yeah. So what would happen with me is whatever direction I was in, when I had to find out what my next step was with my daughter, I'd go into the center, go up to the north, take a journey. And in that journey, I would ask, I would get the information and then apply that. And there were times that I missed some Thursdays. My dog also passed away, and I had to do the grieving. But I never, even though I didn't show up for the Thursday meetings, I still incorporated the use of the wheel. And I thought that I was just running to the north all the time, but I was running to the north, let's take a journey. Let's get some information. What do I do next? What is my next move? And as I went around the wheel, it just all made so much sense.
Yeah.
So the first year was learning how to, what there was in the wheel. The second wheel is second year was taking that information and really incorporating it into your life.
Yeah.
God knows what the third year is going to bring. I can't even imagine. It's like, God help me, But I mean, if you're on the fence, boy, I would sign up immediately. I mean,
yeah. Thank you for that, Denise.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You bring up a good point too. It's and I experience this myself. When you walk a shamanic path, there's the thing about the spiral where you are constantly going through an evolution where you may go through the same things over and over, maybe different circumstances or different names or different situations, but a similar feel, but you go through it at a different level, so you have different set of tools. And the numbers that Denise was speaking of in the very beginning are when you come into the mentorship, and actually you can do this for free on the website, you can take an energy assessment test, and it takes an assessment of where your energy is in balance, out of balance, or in excess in each of the different directions. And oftentimes everybody wants to have 100% balance on all four directions, but I'm telling you, that only happens twice. Once is if you're lying, and the second time is if you're dead. So you always have some imbalance in some direction because we're always evolving, we're always creating a better us. But what can happen though is that you get to a place where your numbers are really, really balanced in all of the different directions. And usually what that means is that you've done one of those evolutions and now it's time for a shakeup. And that shakeup will move you. You'll be a different person. You'll experience it differently, but your world will fall apart to a degree so that you can go back around and kind of patch up and relearn new tools. Mine happened that way 3 years ago. I had every direction just completely balanced and like 98% in each direction. And I knew something was going to be happening. And sure enough, I left my marriage and my retreat center in North Carolina, took off on the road for a year of traveling, and my world turned upside down. My west direction was completely blown out because I didn't have an anchor place to actually land and be. My relationships in my south were kind of shattered and thrown apart. I had no really structure in my life because I was on the road. I was just going. So the east was out of balance. My only anchor point was north direction. I had that going pretty well. But I went through it with the medicine wheel and the tools that I knew and I learned. And some of you have followed me on that journey, and you saw me go from being completely broken to bringing it all the way back full circle and really embodying such a different place. And as a result of that, this is a funny story actually. And I think, is Amy still on here? Yeah, Amy. I think Amy yeah, was the one who brought this to my attention. She joined the mentorship and she says, how long ago did you film the videos that were in the classes? Was that you, Amy? I think it was. And the reason was because I had filmed the videos before all of this change happened, but the person that she was experiencing on the weekly calls was a much different person. It wasn't the same person. And I had to redo all of the classes with the voice that I had now, or had acquired, because it just took me to that next level. And that's what the medicine wheel does. It really just gives you that roadmap to navigating some of those tougher places and polishing kind of that soul that you have within you and becoming the best part of you. So you do become a different person, and each time you go through, you get new tools. You have a different understanding of it until it really becomes an integral part. The medicine wheel becomes integrated into your everyday life. Now, when something happens to me, I'm like, what energy do I need right now? Where's my go-to? If I find myself hitting the bag of potato chips and the ice cream and a glass of wine all at the same time, I know that I am throwing all of my energy into the west direction, and that tells me that I am either diverting from an emotion in the south that I don't want to feel, or there's something in the east that I don't want to do. So I have to figure out, do I really want to revert to this imbalanced energy, or is there a better way for me to kind of serve my energy up in a different way? So, in
or
fact,
maybe you shouldn't have those things in your house to begin with.
Well, I use that example because I was at my mom's house last night, and this is the God truth. I hope my mom does not watch this. I opened up her freezer. I am not exaggerating this at all. I counted. I sent Sherry a picture. She has 25 cartons of ice cream in her refrigerator. And so yesterday I was going to order some groceries online. I said, Mom, do you need anything? She goes, yeah, I need some ice cream. I said, Mom, you got like 20 things of ice cream in your freezer right now. She goes, yeah, but I'm out of strawberry. I said, seriously? And then she says, if you're going to get it, will you just go ahead and get the 10 for $10, or no, get 20 for $20 and I'll pay you back. I said, you want 20 more cartons of ice cream in addition to your 25 that are already in your freezer? Yep, because I don't have enough strawberry. So when I'm at my mom's house, I sometimes revert back to that little kid who used to eat very, very poorly as a way to, you go into that old familiar feeling of being the youngest baby of the family, blah, blah, blah. So last night I found myself eating ice cream. Like, okay, what's going on here? Why am I eating ice cream all of a sudden? But anyway, 48 cartons of ice cream. Hard to miss. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Linda.
Hi, Dakota. Hi, folks.
Hi.
Not a question. I just need to go, but I just wanted to say before I go, for anybody again who's thinking about it and they're not sure, I'm quite new to the medicine wheel. I've only been there. This will be my third direction. I'm absolutely blown away with the quality of materials, the the genuine, heartfelt group that you've created who support each other, and they're there for each other. They chat offline, and if you don't want to chat, you don't need to chat. I just think and I think I said this the last time we spoke, I think I've learned more with you doing one of the directions than I learned in 20 or 30 years doing workshops. Seriously, it was immense. Absolutely, the quality of work, and the thing about it is you can do it at your own pace. There isn't a push to make you do it. You don't lose out if you've missed it. The videos when you're tuning in every Thursday are fantastic. The meditations that you get sent every week are really high quality, fantastic material. And I think for some people, I know it's a difficult time. I know people are in a place where they don't know what's happening next week. They're conserving their energy. But seriously, folks, something like this would get you through that much easier than, I don't know, spending a couple of £100 on shopping. This will keep you sane.
Yeah.
So I need to go because it's dinner time for us here. So I need to go and get some dinner and make tea for everybody. But I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you for everybody. Your video was beautiful. Absolutely.
Thank you, Linda, so much. And Linda's voice was on the meditation, if you recognize her Scottish accent. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I think that, especially in this time right now, there's a lot of jokes about everybody buying toilet paper. And part of the reason why people are gravitating towards buying toilet paper or whatever is to have a sense of control. And in landscape right now, it feels very much out of control. And one of the things that I have appreciated in my own self-work is that I can go into the grocery store and I can, walk right past toilet paper and not feel the need to buy it, because I have control in my life in other ways. I have this great tool that I've got that I can navigate my life with, and feel like, that control comes from within myself. I don't need something external of me to kind of bring that to light. So I offer that too, because, right now there are a lot of unknowns and uncertainties that people are feeling. And yet that is the great example of when would be a good time for you to tap in and regain that power within yourself to be able to navigate this kind of a time with kind of a clarity that a lot of people don't have right now. And that's the East direction too. That's East is all about clarity, vision, insight, being able to see that big picture and kind of seeing beyond the immediate emergency that we're in right now. And that's why in the beginning of this call, I brought up some of the great things that are happening as a result of this very tragic moment. So there is another question over here by Tanyette. I will be enrolling and looking forward to it. Yay! Is there a way to purchase today's meditation with the visuals as a gift for someone? So if you buy the meditation on in the Soul Shop, which isn't there yet, but it will be later today, yes, you will get audio only, and you will get the video with the audio. So you'll get 2 different downloads that you can have with that video. I put a lot of work into that video, so I don't want to just have it be like a one-off, like you see it one time and that's it. No, I want it out there. So that will be available, and I'm so glad that you're going to be joining us, Tanya. And from Ryan, your third eye is buzzing. Yay. Okay. Oh, so you're just answering that. Okay. Any other questions? Wait, Miriam, did you do the meditation? Is that for me? Oh, yes, I did do the meditation. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, you almost had yourself unmuted. There you go.
I was trying to speak. I was just saying, am I too late? So I'm too late.
Oh, yeah, we did the meditation. Yeah, we did the meditation earlier, but it will be on YouTube here in just a little bit for you to stream. And then
I'm so sorry. I didn't.
That's okay. It's we changed times and not everybody in the world did. So there's this time of year, time zones get really confusing, but it will be there. And you're in the mentorship as a light seeker, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody in the mentorship will get this meditation. So I'll send you guys a link for it and you guys will get it.
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
Not on track because of this whole issue going on.
Yeah, it's really it's a very different time to be alive right now.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
You're welcome. And then somebody else had something, what if I've never studied the medicine wheel and know nothing about it? All the more reason to come in and join the mentorship, because you learn really about the medicine wheel. And, I want to reiterate too, even though I talk about it being a shamanic mentorship, yes, you do learn shamanic tools, but for the most part, the medicine wheel has been around for thousands and thousands of years, used by many different cultures. The Celtic had the sacred wheel, Stonehenge, Lehenge, all those different stone circles that are in Europe, are a result of kind of the medicine wheel type teachings. And then you've got Native American tribes, you've got Siberia. My point is that it doesn't matter what your spiritual practices are. You could be Christian, agnostic, atheist, Buddhist, Hindu, shamanic, you could be pagan, Wiccan. Any religion fits into the medicine wheel, because it really is about navigating your personal space, your life, and using those energies to really kind of employ as antennas in your life. So it's great for any of that. Raven, you have your hand up?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I just really wanted to say that anybody who's thinking about joining, it's a really good idea. It's not an easy mentorship for me anyway. It's really made me face some stuff in myself that I did not want to look at. And I'm still like, holy crap. But I'm getting through it. And because of that, and I'm finally figuring out about the directions where it takes you when you're actually in the center of the wheel, it takes you to your highest heart place, which, what a gift. So I just wanted to say thank you to Dakota, but also to all the people in this tribe, because it's a really good tribe. So that's it.
Thank you, Raven. It is a phenomenal tribe. I think my teachings are good, but I think the tribe that you walk into is phenomenal. Like Raven's saying, it's just that level of support and camaraderie, and nobody's here to fix you or advise you. We're here to hold space for each other, and it really is a sacred space, and we are all very protective of it and also very honoring of it. So it's really a different experience than I've been in a part of a lot of different groups. I have never seen a group like this before. In every direction, we have new people who come in, and you would think there would be this clash of old versus new. And what happens is this marriage where everybody's like, hey, your family, come on in. We've been waiting for you. And it's just a beautiful experience to watch and witness. I love it. I love, love, love the tribe that we have. Kayla.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. I figured out my audio. Well, I'm one of those newbies. So for those of you who are considering, I came into the wheel in the north and wasn't knowing what to expect, feel anything about the program and the mentorship tribe. I love tribal feelings, and as I will just ditto what everyone else is saying about the tribal people that are here. It's safe. It's safe to share. It's safe to cry. It's safe to laugh. And it's safe to be just who you are. And so I didn't have a lot of experience with the medicine wheel. And this has been, and Linda I know is gone, I would say one of the best quality programs, because before I got called to Dakota and I met her on Insight Timer, one of her meditations. I had been searching, well, for a very long time, but really seriously in the last year. I started a program, I dropped out because that wasn't where I was supposed to be. So I think I will just say that when you're called in to the time that you're supposed to be here, you're called in. And I was called in at the North for that time. I know now because of the things that I was going through in my life at that time. And so I just reiterate everyone's sentiments of a very well done program, a very safe and loving tribe. So that's it. And I'm glad I figured out the audio.
It only took 9 weeks, but that's good. I'm so happy that you're here too, and that you're getting that. Somebody over on YouTube is asking, how much is the mentorship and how long does it last? So we have 3 different levels that you can choose from. One is the solo session, which means no community, no live calls each week, but it's a lower price point, and you just do your own pace. It's $297. We have a payment plan for that one as well. We just now offered for the first time the payment plan for that one because of everything that's happening right now. And then the second level is the Earthwalker plan, which is 1 session at a time. So it would be just the east direction. It's 9 weeks of live calls. And in the live calls, we do workshops. They're 2 hours long. We offer 2 different times for that. And there's also a replay in case you miss it, but it's a 2-hour workshop and community time. And then you also have access to, we have a whole website that is just dedicated to active mentorship people. So we have forums and groups and the news feed, living room, you name it, it's in there. It's in a complete isolated social network that we have for that. And then you also get classwork every week. So you'll get a packet download and audios and meditations included in that. That's $497. We have it priced at $475 right now for the pre-enrollment, which we're going to keep that going for a while. There's also 2 different payment plans that you can do for that. And then the third option is to join as a wisdom keeper, which is ironically something shifted about 2 sessions ago around Alchemist. We used to get people that would sign up for 1 session, try it out, and then upgrade to the wisdom keeper. And it would be mostly single session people, and then they would upgrade. Something happened in September of last year where it switched and everybody was signing up as a wisdom keeper, and we had very few single session people. But the wisdom keeper really is the most economical. It doesn't look like it up front, but you get all 4 sessions, so you go around the wheel for the entire year. You get 4 bonus courses. You get, in addition to all the live calls and community, you also get a monthly workshop that we really drill down into all the different directions and bringing it together. Right now, last month and next month, we're working on the chakras within the medicine wheel. So you get a lot of information. Yeah, Amy, you need to come back. And then you also get, a group just for you. You get set up with the tribe of people that you start with, and so you have that camaraderie also. That is priced at normally 1,650, and now we have it on for 1,600 with the pre-enrollment price. And you get a lot with that. So you basically get 1 session free. So you're paying upfront for 3 directions, and then you get 1 direction free. Plus you get all the free the other stuff on it. So those are the 3 different ways that you can join. Very seldom do we have somebody join and not continue on. And I say that, offer that, because I've had a lot of people who will go around the wheel 2 years and buy single session at a time instead of doing the wisdom keeper, and they don't get all the bonus courses and all that. So if you think you're going to go around the wheel, just do the wisdom keeper. And we have payment plans for that too. It really gives you a lot for your investment. And I will tell you too, we do not usually, I think I've offered this maybe once or twice, but we don't do gift certificates because you only come onto the wheel when you are ready. And that's, I don't want people to waste their money buying it for somebody else unless you know that person really 100% wants to do it. Okay, so any other questions? I'm trying to look at Facebook or not Facebook, YouTube, and my team has Slack up so that we can communicate between 3 of us if there's technical things going on. And we've got YouTube, and then I've got this. So, whew, that's a lot of East energy. Denise.
You forgot to mention that every now and then we have a movie afternoon.
Oh, that's right. We do.
And that's really special.
It is special. We do occasionally we do a movie. Oh, and we actually have a couple of things new that we're going to be doing this session. Starting this session, Karen, the Keeney Sky Dancer, is going to lead a book share each session. And you have, they'll meet once a week. They'll do a half hour where they read the book together. So if you don't have a book, you'll be read too. And with our global family, that means you'll have people reading in all different accents. Oh my God, I can't wait for that. And then 30 minutes of discussion. Then we have a forum set up for that. And so we pick books that are specific to the energy of the direction that we're working on. So we're going to start off with The Invitation by Araya Mountain Dreamer, which is a beautiful poem, but there's actually a book that goes along with that. And we will be doing some more movie nights, like Denise said. And there was something else we were going to add. Can't remember now. It'll be a surprise. It'll be good though. We have fun. We have, and then we do impromptu like get-togethers. Like last week we did that because there was such a need. Everybody was feeling very stressed out about everything that's happening in the world. We came together as a community and you know, we had, I don't know, maybe 38 of us on the call, and we just really dug into what we have learned in the medicine wheel and how do we take that into practice now in our life. And I think everybody left that call feeling 100% better. I could be wrong, but I believe everybody felt better. And, you know, in times like that, there's nothing more important than having a place that you can go and express the anger, the fear, the everything, and then also find resolution and inspiration. So anyway, that's, oh, thank you, Emma. Emma is ER Publishing. Nice. And see, I like to read and talk, and I'm multitasking. Anyway, there are lots of opportunities for you guys to ask questions. If you have more that come up, you can always email us at support@dakotaearthcloud.com. And we are happy to answer any questions and help walk you through joining the mentorship if you want to. Those of you who are getting ready to go into the East with me that are already a student, you guys will have, you guys had an email yesterday. You'll have another one coming out in the next couple of days with some new updates and things like that to kind of get things going. And I am looking for a movie for the East Direction. So if anybody has, I think last time we did Chef, right? Because Chef is a great movie for Sacred Purpose. So we're going to find another movie that fits the East Direction and do that. And in this time where we are all kind of isolating into our own little bubble, just remember that you've got a virtual community that you can tap into at any time. And those of us who are on the mentorship, this Thursday, we are going to do another community call just to connect and bring that energy, that tribe love back into play. We will be starting classes April 2nd. That's the first live call. And you can sign up. Cece, I see this on YouTube. You can sign up at dakotaearthcloud.com. And on that very front page, the very first thing you're going to see is about the Visionary Mentorship. Just click on that link. It'll take you to a page where you can read more about the mentorship and actually sign up. And if you have any issues with that, just give us a shout out at that email I just gave you. Anyway, and the meditation again will be on YouTube and also for sale in the Soul Shop. But for those of you in the mentorship, do not purchase today's meditation. You're getting it for free, okay? So I don't want to see a bunch of orders from my mentorship piece, because that means I have to go in there and refund all of you.
She knows us.
I do. I know you guys very well. So that will be in your box later today as well. All right, thank you everybody for your patience with today's lagging video. I apologize for that, but that also means that there are many, many, many millions of people who are online finding ways to fill that void that they are feeling in their life, and that we can't blame them for that. I appreciate you guys being here, and I will see most of you in next week or this week.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Wonderful.
And thank you to my YouTube people. Yay.